Haley.
And I'm Chrissy.
And welcome back to Talking Shit. So, what are we talking about today?
Bad friends.
There's lots of ways to be a bad friend. The most recent one is giving your friend a black eye. You should never do that.
It's almost killed. I was expecting a broken nose today.
I was expecting.
Let me get my face down here.
I was expecting 2 black eyes today.
I am plotting still. It's going to be when you least expect it.
I 100% believe that.
Oh, I will get you
That's
that.
a bad friend, Chrissy. You're not
No
payback.
Revenge. That's helping karma.
So, what are some ways that we've come up with how to be a bad friend? Because last week we talked about how to be a good friend and it's some really great topics.
Yeah.
Obviously, the opposite of those are being bad friends, but we're going to touch on some like more in detail today.
Friends who don't celebrate you.
Oh, I agree. There's nothing worse than like telling your friends something that is like so exciting to you and they're just like, huh.
Or they one up. Yeah.
You're a competitive person, so like it, but you don't compete with your friends.
No, I compete with myself for sure.
Correct. Yeah. You celebrate your friends. Yeah. There's a difference between being competitive and celebrating people and being competitive and just wanting to be on the top all the time and just yeah.
And really, if you recognize your friend's strengths and your weaknesses and your strengths, then you'll understand that, it's probably one reason why you are friends.
Yeah.
Because you can feed off of each other, learn from each other.
Yeah.
Celebrate each other.
I see so many people though that actually do have friends around them that I'm like, man, that's not really your friend there. When they make sideways comments like that, like, is that really your?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've had some friends like that. And I guess, when you're in that friendship, it's like being in a toxic relationship. You really don't realize it when it's happening. And then, sometimes it'll catch you off guard and you're like, oh, wait, did they just say that wasn't very nice?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's also levels to friendship, like if your friend, like I know that there could be times where maybe sometimes I say things, that's one of my goals for this year is obviously trying to talk with more intention, but there's sometimes I know that like watching your face, sometimes there's been times you're like, you've looked at me like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't mean it to come off like that. But like your face doesn't hide it. And then I instantly, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. You know what I mean? So like there's, I don't want people to think just because your friends may pop off and say, I've been guilty of like saying something and then I'm aware and I'm like, oh wait, like I didn't mean it to come off that way.
I know that you don't have ill intention. So sometimes you say things and you have a different opinion and that's okay. And then my face responds to your nonsense. You spew out your mouth.
Yes.
No, really. Yeah. So we talked about on the last episode leading into this episode about situations where you'll make choices. If you're making choices and your friends are just supporting it, they're really not your friends.
No.
If you're making choices and a friend says, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that decision. I think it's wrong. That's a good friend.
And it doesn't always have to be an argument. I don't think friendships and relationships, all relationships are the same. You have to give, you have to take, you have to be compassionate, you have to do all these things, but
and be willing to listen.
Correct.
If I come to you and say, I've been thinking about this and you came to me, I don't really agree with.
I actually had that conversation with someone first thing this morning because they didn't want to they just kept wanting to cut off what I was saying. I was like, listen, stop being closed-minded. And even if you don't agree, just listen to what I have to say and listen to listen to understand instead of listening to respond to soak in what I'm saying.
Right.
And while your first thing is, no, I don't agree, maybe I'm giving you a different perspective.
They just want to be heard. They don't, they came to you and I am known to say, okay, are you coming to me because you want my opinion or are you just wanting me to listen? Because if you just want me to listen, I can sit here and listen. But if you want my opinion, I'll be glad to give you my opinion, but.
Oh, we know you'll give your.
Oh, I'll give my opinion, but I don't give it unwarranted.
I don't think she asked me that question.
No,
you're
definitely the one person I don't. I definitely just want.
It doesn't really matter.
You just need to listen.
So there was an instance where we have a group text with another friend and we know our roles. Okay, Chrissy's gonna come in and she's gonna be the upbeat, give the advice, and I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna be positive and try to build the person up. We know some roles that we have to play.
She's like, "Oh no, that outfit looked great." And I
I
did not look great, and she should never wear that shirt
I'm not
again.
fake.
Just kidding.
Actually, I just told you how cute your outfit was,
Yeah.
and I mean it.
Yeah, we dress very different. We just mentioned this. So Haley always comes in all cutie patootie, and I'm in sweatpants every single episode.
Well, this is the only day that I like really get dressed up. Most of
Yeah.
the time, I'm in workout gear and
Yeah. Well, and it just so happens that Tuesdays are the days that I plan my running. So we do the podcast in the morning. So most Tuesdays
I think you look beautiful.
thanks.
And I love
Me
your
and my black
outfit.
guy.
And I don't, and I'm not being fake saying that I really love your outfit. So,
Yeah.
when you start your new next project, can you sell things like this in there? Because I'll definitely
Yes,
buy you.
actually we did. We are starting an activewear line in our boutique.
I'm
So
excited for
It's
you.
gonna be so
So
cute. Yeah.
pay
Me and a good friend.
attention to all of that because I'm sure she'll be wearing her activewear stuff
Yes.
here at the gym, and I'll wear some and represent, and it's gonna
It's gonna be
be
fun.
it's
Yeah.
gonna
And
be super
that's a
cute.
good friend. Yeah. So you know, you talk about friendship and you mentioned it is a lot like relation marriages, whatever. Um, you know, we celebrate each other a lot, and you were talking about talking. This didn't happen to me personally recently, but it happened to someone that's very dear to me, and she's had some stuff that she's went through, and she had a very very close friend, and that friend just happened to be going through some stuff too, and that friend just did not want to hear anything that she was going through. She only wanted to talk about herself, and everybody goes through stuff in life, and if you're so self-consumed that you're missing what other people are going through because you're on a down, then you're on an up. So you want to talk about your downs, you want to talk about your ups, but you fail to realize what's going on around you. That's a bad friend.
Yeah, it truly is.
Yeah.
So one of my friends that I've had for many, many, many years. I mean, she's a little bit older than me, but she kind of helped guide me into the workforce when I was 19 and stuff like that. Her husband now said to me one time when I was going through something, you can always know your real friends when you tell them something that's going on in your life that's like traumatic or bad. And their first response is, they want to know all the details. A real friend is going to say, oh my God, what can I do?
Yeah.
How can I help you?
Yeah.
What do you need from me?
Yeah.
I don't want to know the
Yeah.
details. I just want to know what I can do to get you out of this to
Right.
help you.
Well, and just that
And
right
it's
there.
always resonated and stuck with me. So whenever somebody's going through something, even if maybe I'm going through something, I just always want to say, what can I do?
So oftentimes you hear people say, "Oh, let me know if I can do something." I hate that. I always like to say, "Tell me what you need." And I had a friend, this friend, I've been friends with her since junior high. She was going through some stuff, and I said, "What do you need?" And she said, "You know what, Chrissy, so many people offer that, but I know that you truly mean it." And I do. If I say to you, "What do you need? Tell me what you
There's
need."
been many times where during my surgeries, you've brought food for like me and my family.
Tacos are the way to Haley's heart.
Like because I've had 8 back surgeries, so there's been many times where there was one where bless her heart, I literally I was having a reaction to the medicine, and I tried to jump out a window. I tried to kick Chrissy. I
She
think a
threw a
walk.
walker at me.
I threw my
She tried to
walker
hit
at her,
me.
and she was like, "All right, listen, we're getting you out of the house. We're making you eat. We're
Well,
doing
because of
things."
the reaction to the medicine, somebody had to be with Haley, and her husband was working, and her kids were working, and it was a lot. It was totally a group effort.
It was a horrible
Her mom
experience in
was
my life.
here, and so I put her in the car with me. I force fed her because she wasn't eating.
And I have no recollection of many of this because I was having a bad reaction and I was heavily medicated. So
Yeah. And so I put her in the car with me, and went and showed houses and force fed her chicken nuggets, and she ate 10 chicken nuggets, and I was like, "Wow, girl, you were hungry." But, really, like, so many people say, "Oh, let me know if there's anything I can do." And it's just so
and that's what
passive.
other people would have said to me, but you knew like she's not going to tell me what she needs. First of all, I'm not the type of person that will ask for help. It's
Oh,
just
right. Me
I'm
either.
not
Yeah.
like I just don't go to people, and it's just never I don't want to say there's a shame behind it. There isn't, but there is almost a stigma behind it. It's something that I have to work through personally. Asking for help for me is something that I've just never always had in my life,
We're
the people to
taught that
rely on.
that it's a weakness, you
Correct.
know, it's such a weakness. It's kind to say, how can I help you? Who cares if you really mean it or help somebody? And it's a weakness to ask for help. And all that is such bullshit.
And that's why one of my goals is to talk with intention. If I say, like, what do you need from me? I mean it.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
I'm not
right.
just saying it. Like,
Well,
if,
I know that when you
yeah,
say that to me, you truly mean
yeah,
it. I mean, I know that about you. You have the biggest heart, and so does Harmony. And that's, we all really connect in that way because we truly will show up for each other.
yeah. I mean, we have a really great friend group, as a matter of fact. I mean, we plan vacations together year out and stuff. So we're
There may
planning
be
a big
there
one,
may
and
be
it's gonna
six of us, there
really,
may be 30.
there's gonna be a big one coming up next year that literally all of our kids and families are going on, that we're gonna find out
It's
the,
gonna be
but maybe we should record a lot of it and go on a vacation vlog with Haley and Chrissy. That would be a lot of fun. She's just okay. Yeah. We'll learn how to be bad and good friends then.
yeah.
We're gonna learn a
We
lot on that
vacation.
trip.
Well, this is the thing. We vacationed a lot, together, and we're not glued at the hip. Like, anybody who knows me and my husband, we like our time by ourselves and stuff. And, we travel with you four, and you guys kind of go off together in couples, and Joe and I will go have dinner by ourselves. Because our lives are chaotic and busy. So we don't get a lot of that alone time. So we love our friends, but we do like our
A great balance.
yeah, it really is a good balance. And nobody gets mad about that. Nobody's feelings are hurt.
Mm-mm.
It's just, it's okay. We
Yeah.
understand each other. We understand each other's needs.
That brings us to a good point though. Being a bad friend, sometimes you can leave your friends out, and it's not
Yeah.
really not intentional.
Yeah. And there's been lots of things you guys have went off and done. And Harmony, she's so funny. Harmony is like super sensitive and she worries about everything. So they had all went to a Notre Dame game, and Harmony was like, well, we just are going with my husband's family and they already know Brian and Haley. I'm like, Harmony, you owe me nothing. Like, I don't care. I probably don't want to go anyway.
I was forced to go.
But yeah, really, I mean, like, we're very sensitive to each other, but we do go off and do our own thing, um, and trust that each other's
Yeah.
intentions are pure and good.
Yeah. Like, they wouldn't just not purposely invite me, or else that would be a bad friend.
I think we'll leave Haley out this time,
What do you mean?
being a bad friend.
Oh,
I just think, no.
I thought you were saying like we're gonna leave her out. We're not gonna invite her. I was like, see,
Gonna-
all right,
Yeah,
here we
we're
go.
just gonna leave her out. No, we don't ever do that. We don't ever do that. We always, like when we do birthdays and stuff,
Yeah,
we do them together. We talk every single day,
yeah.
check in on each other if we haven't heard from each other.
Guaranteed, the first text message I will wake up to will be from her. She is the first text message I get every single day.
Yes, I'm up early, but it's usually a very positive, inspiring text message. I'm not like,
Get your ass out of bed.
bitch.
Why didn't you wake up to be working out here today? Which I didn't, okay? I was slacking today, but I'm coming back from death itself, so I'm giving myself some grace.
Yes.
So, another good way to, be a bad friend is if you don't trust your friends.
Yeah.
If you don't, I mean, to me personally, I think that's a no-brainer. If you don't trust your friends, why would you be friends with them? But there is a lot of people who
They keep,
probably have
they,
friends who,
well, it's like,
they just
keep your enemies close.
I don't like
I
that
don't,
saying.
no thanks.
You know what? I don't want that negative shit around me. You know what?
Yeah.
If you don't like me, fine. We don't have to
What's that
argue. We
song?
don't have to just stay out of it. We'll stay out of each other's spaces. I'm
Yeah.
not for everyone.
Oh,
You're not
right.
for
Yeah.
everyone.
So on this last vacation that I was on, when I went with a couple of really good friends, and um, the one I've been friends with for years and years and years and years, and the other one has been in my life for about 11 years, and she said that people have actually questioned her, like, how can you be friends with Chrissy? How do you tolerate her? My personality is very strong. It's very forward, and I know that I'm not for everybody. And her response, and not that she has to defend me, but her response was, if you knew Chrissy's heart, you would be her friend too. Well, then my other friend was like, people don't like her. Who doesn't like her? Like, I'm so likable.
I
you
agree.
know? Um, but if you don't like me, it's probably something within yourself. Or you did something to me and you feel guilty about it. Go on with yourself.
Well, I mean, that 100%. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who don't like us, but like, here's the thing. If we let it affect our lives, like I would be questioning everywhere I went. Does that person like me? Does that person
Yeah.
like me? And
Life's
you
too
know,
short.
correct.
Yeah.
I keep my circle small, the people around me who celebrate me and love me to my inner core. And that's what's great. The people around me, I can show my ugly parts too
And they
and
still love
not
you. Yeah.
be judged, and they
And
still
we have
love me.
seen each
I
other's ugly
have ugly
parts.
parts to me, and
Yeah.
that's okay. It's okay
Yeah.
to have those ugly
Yeah.
parts. Not okay if you like spew those out and you're not aware of them. I
Well, it's not
know.
okay to truly be an ugly person,
No, mm-mm, no.
but everybody has
And so
ups and
many
downs.
times where I'll have a bad day and I really don't like the way I acted that day. It's where you come back from. There's been times where I went off and like lost my temper with my kids or something, and then an hour later I text and I'm like, you know what, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I acted that way. You know, I shouldn't have done that. I love you, blah blah blah. You know, it's okay to have those ugly parts, but you can't.
But the thing that would make you a bad person or a bad friend is if you reacted that way
And
and you
just
didn't
like
acknowledge it and
there's
you justified it.
mm,
Don't justify that behavior. Don't be
I,
that person.
yes, I love the people around me being self-aware, because if you're the type of person who's like, oh, it's always everybody else, I'm not, then you're really
Yeah.
probably not. I mean, I don't have dislike or hate in my heart for you, but I want people around me who are aware that, sometimes you make mistakes and everybody does. And
Yeah.
when you do,
So
you
quick
just
to
acknowledge
judge.
it and you just say sorry and you learn from it.
Right.
There's so many things I learn from every day in my life that,
Yeah. I don't want to be friends with the people that treat the drive-through workers bad. I don't want to be friends with the people that can't wait in line at haunted houses because it's going to take an hour and they're
life
griping the whole time.
truly 100% is what you make it.
Yeah.
And if you spew out negative stuff all the time, then that's what you're gonna get. I had a friend too. I was watching her TikTok. Went to high school with her, and she caught some backlash for saying this. Um, and I just watched it last night and it kind of resonated to me. And I see both sides. She was saying, if you woke up today and you are just in a foul mood and nothing's going right for you, and you just hate this, hate that. She's like, don't spew that out to all of us. She's like, we don't need that. And everybody's like, oh, people aren't allowed to have feelings unless it's happy feelings. I'm gonna say this right now. The best thing you can do in life for yourself is learn to be aware and control your feelings. Learn where they're coming from, why you're feeling that, and how to control it. And I'm going through this journey myself, and I'll tell you right now, it is a big journey. But it resonated so much with me because what you speak out of the mouth is,
What you speak into the universe.
is
So,
correct. And so like if you're going out every morning, if you came in here this morning and I was like, yes, we got to shoot the podcast. I'm 10 minutes late. It was this handicap driver and I couldn't get here and blah blah blah. Like what good is that doing anybody?
and I
You
wasn't
can
mad. I was like, hey, when are you going to be there?
yeah, that's what she said. She was like, just keep it to yourself. Well, I see both sides of it. Her context behind it, I think, was don't go spew that negative energy out to this person, this person, this person, this person. You may not know what you're affecting. Instead, have a positive energy. And if you're shining your light, shining on all these other people. She's not saying don't feel those things. What she's saying is like, if you're having a bad day, maybe find your person that you trust and, work through that. But literally throughout the day, just don't go be that negative person to the whole world, because one, it makes you look bad. And two, you really are affecting other people's days and other people's lives. There's so many times where I've come in contact with people where I'm having a great day and I feel like they may have a bad day.
Mhm.
And it's like their negative energy is affecting, and it's
Yeah.
like it's almost kind of
My
like
husband
affecting my
says that.
day. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want that. Like, keep it to yourself.
He says we feed off of each other, but I think he feeds off of me and not necessarily me
And
as
it's
much off of him. But I wanted to say this because you talked about, people putting out on social media and stuff. Research does show that if you post something negative, I'm having a bad day, somebody parked next to me, they're a dick. And you post that on social media, you're going to get more interaction on that than you are a positivity.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people who just want to jump on the bandwagon and have
Yeah.
this to say and have that to say and that,
Yeah.
and it just it is
Yeah.
what it is, I guess.
Right.
But that really, when I watched that, I really liked what she said because I agree. Like, while it's okay to, have bad days or to feel those negative things, just be careful of who you're affecting with it because
Yeah.
you're negative
If
or
you're having those
negative
bad
or
days every
positive,
day,
any
yeah,
interaction you have with anybody throughout your whole day, you're going to change or alter their day in some way, some shape or form, depending on the energy and the conversations that you have with those people. So try to be a light to the world. Try to be a good, positive impact, not a negative one everywhere you go.
a fun sucker. Don't be a fun sucker.
No, I'm just the opposite. I mean, I'm the type of person that sometimes you have to look at me and be like, take it serious. And I'm like, but I don't want to. I'm having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you have to be careful about surrounding yourself with people. If they're having a bad day every single day, it's their mentality. They are the problem. I don't want that in my life. I don't want that challenge in my life. And honestly, like there's not anything that I'm going to do or say that's going to change them. And so I'm just going to
Pray
pick
for
up
them from
and
afar.
move on. Just pick up and move on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So what's another way you can think of being a bad friend?
You know, I really and I've noticed this more with our friendship. I'm a texter. I'm a big texter. Like it's quick, it's easy. But one thing that we do, and
I'm not a texter, by the way.
yeah,
I'm
one
not.
one thing that we do that I love is the three of us make a lot of phone calls to each other, whether it's in the car or I'm folding laundry and I just set my phone
Because
down.
I'm a talker.
Yeah,
I want to
we
talk on the
talk
phone.
on the phone a lot.
Mhm,
And it really does just change my day
mhm.
that I sit there and talk to one of you guys for 10 minutes and actually have a conversation. If you think about how much you can say in 10 minutes versus an hour of texting, like that texting is draining. So pick up the phone and call.
And I have
Don't
noticed,
just text your
so
friends.
I've noticed with you, and I haven't said this to you, I've noticed with you that like normally you're not on the phone talker. When I first met you in like the past years, it would be like, I gotta get this done.
Yeah.
You have spent a lot more time
Yeah.
talking on the phone with me. I think there was
We
a
were
week
on the
ago.
phone for like an hour.
That's what I was just
I
getting ready
know.
to say, and I think that's probably the longest phone
Yeah.
conversation that I've been able to have with you. We said like 3 times, okay, I gotta go, I gotta get this done, and then we just kept talking. Okay, I gotta go, I gotta get this
And
done.
I felt so when we hung up that day, heart was so full. Like I was so happy.
Yeah.
And Harmony is the same way. Like she will call,
Mhm.
Now we're busy and sometimes we don't answer. And like yesterday, I told you, oh, I'll call you back. And I didn't. I mean, yesterday was a crazy day and I just didn't have time to call
If
you
it
back.
was important, I would just keep calling her.
Yeah. And you didn't get mad, you didn't take it personal. You were just like, you knew yesterday was crazy for
I'll
you.
be the last person to take it personal. I'm the type of person that I will look at a text message and then 5 days later I'll respond
Yeah.
because
I
I
can't.
forgot.
I
Because I
can't do
forgot.
that.
I'm not a big phone person. I'm not a big text person either. I'm the type of person that I almost feel like the way I say things, or I mean, first of all, I'm a horrible speller. It is what it is. I'm horrible at spelling. I'm horrible at math. I'm good at a lot of other things, but I got a
You're
calculator.
pretty.
I use talk to text. It doesn't come. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I hate it. I hate everything
Yeah.
about texting. I just
Yeah,
want to
and
talk on the phone.
I talk to text a lot, driving and stuff, and I'll just talk to text to get some responses in because my days are so full. But, I think bad friends just text each other. They don't pick up the phone. And, you don't have to do it every day. Once in a while,
Yeah.
just pick up the phone and call your people.
Yes. And just check in instead of saying,
Yeah.
just on text message, hey,
Yeah.
hope you're having a good day.
Yeah. And I do text a lot and I'm notorious for messaging people or texting people that are on my mind and just, hey, thinking about you today, not sure what's going on with your life, but you crossed my mind today. Um, and I don't always make those phone calls, but really close people, and my husband text a lot, but we talk a lot. Like if he's driving, he calls me.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference.
I think if you talk about your friends behind their back, obviously that's being a
Well, I don't know. We've talked about this. So, like, I know you and Harmony have had conversations about me. Me and Harmony have conversations
here's the
about
big
you.
difference. There's nothing I say to
Yes,
Harmony, or there's
that's
nothing you say
yes,
to Harmony that you wouldn't say to my
right.
face.
So I think that sometimes people like shut conversations down. If you know me, you know that anything I say about somebody, I am most certainly willing to say it to their face.
Yes. I'm talking about like stirring the pot behind, the person. I watch reality TV. I'm a reality TV junkie,
And
is
I don't
what it
watch
is.
TV really.
No. I watch Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I know that like this stuff is scripted, but like I see how can any of those even call each other friends when
Mhm.
literally whenever they're not together, they're talking about the person who's not there
They're,
or this
I
or that.
wouldn't
They're
say
so
those
mean
groups are
and
friends.
catty.
Yeah, they're not really friends. Those are formed groups
Yeah,
because of status. That's
probably.
not
Yeah.
a friend. Like, who's actually going to show up for each
Yeah,
other?
if I went to dinner with Matt and Harmony and other, I wouldn't be sitting there talking bad about Chrissy, or saying, "Oh, she did this to me, and I can't believe, she
Yeah.
said this about you." It would never have conversations like
No, because
that.
Harmony would come tell me.
Correct. We would all.
Yeah.
I would get you on the phone and I'd be like, "Listen, we're going to talk about this right
Yeah.
now." Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
and we have been frustrated with each other, and all three of us, and kind of like walk away from it and talk to the other friend and get like a different perspective.
mhm.
Or when one of us has made a decision or done something that we don't necessarily like and verbalized it to each
Yeah.
other. But in our friendship, it's not that we're talking behind each other's back. It's sorting through those feelings. Is it worth approaching?
So this is a really good one, and this is probably where we'll circle back around and end the episode on this one. If you are the friend that is constantly reaching out,
Yeah,
the other side's not a really good
they're
friend.
not interested.
My friends will reach out to me as much as I reach out to them.
Yeah.
If I have a friend that I haven't heard from in 6 months, well, yes, I know it works both ways. Test it. See how long and I actually have this last year. There's some friends that I didn't hear from. So
Mhm.
they're probably just acquaintances now. And that's
Yeah.
okay. There's no ill will there towards them. But if my friends don't care enough to reach out to me at least once a week and say, "Hey, how's your life going?" Or if I don't reach out, then I can't really consider that a close friend.
Well, see,
It should be one-sided.
I have a friend that, I mean, she was like a sister for years and years. We pretty much raised our kids together. And we don't talk a lot. We don't talk a lot, but we talk. And if anything big goes on in our lives, we always show up for each other. And I do consider her a very, very,
See, and that's another thing. There's like
yeah.
stages that are different levels of friends too. Just because like what you said, you don't talk to her, but she
Yeah.
still.
And she texted me, she texted me on Valentine's Day. We always text on holidays and stuff like that. And when my mom passed away, she was the first one there and she showed up with wine and flowers and her dad went through some stuff and I went and sat at the hospital with her and stuff. So I do consider her a very good friend. She's so dear to me. I mean, truly like a sister. But, her focus on life is different. She's paying for college for her kids and where I have, you know, the extra funds to vacation. So we're just kind of in different eras right now. But so I wouldn't say that she's not a friend because we don't talk all the time because she is one of my very, very, very dear friends. But
Here's where I stand with it. I've got some things the last couple years, and there's been people who I know
yeah,
they know what I'm going through. One of the last conversations I think I had with one person that I'm talking about is I was crying and I was upset, and I have not heard from that person since.
hmm
So to me, that
but when you
person
look
was
at
it.
that person and their other friendships, you probably realize that they're probably really not a good friend to anybody.
I love this person. They're a great time. They're fun,
Yeah,
but it's just I guess they're
yeah.
not what. Yeah. It is what
Well,
it is.
that is so
Roll with
funny.
it.
And this is a completely different topic, but it just I was listening to a podcast this morning and it was talking about like narcissistic relationships and stuff and really, I mean, I think a lot of people have some narcissistic.
Here's a therapist told everybody has narcissistic traits. Okay.
Yeah.
So like when you're like he's a narcissist, just know that be self-aware that
Yeah.
everybody has them. It actually takes a diagnosis to be a full-on narcissist. And I'm not downplaying that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying we're all guilty too. So
Well,
go
this
ahead.
is just related to what you said. They're a good time. They're a lot of fun. And this podcast said it's actually, I don't have to look to see who she was. She's like the most knowledgeable person on narcissistic traits. And she said everybody should have a narcissist in their life. They're a great time, but they're not a good friend.
They're a great time, but they're a good
But
friend.
they're not a good friend. Yeah. And it's true. If you look at the relationship in your life, it's true. So leading into that, this is our quote for the day.
Ooh, okay.
If you look at your circle and don't get inspired, you don't have a circle, you have a cage.
Oh my God,
That's good.
that's a really good
And
one.
it's so perfect for this. It's
Yeah.
so true. Yeah.
Surround yourself with who will build you,
Inspire
support
you,
yeah,
cheer you on, and
Correct.
tell you when you need to get your shit together.
correct. Don't surround yourself with people who want to put you in a box and put you in a cage and
Yeah.
just yeah, keep you in that space for them.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a powerful one.
It's good.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Tune back in next week where we will be back to talk some more shit. Hope you have a good week.
Bye.